number one thing that I'm definitely getting into right now is the TV and film industry. It's always been a dream of mine since I was in grade 3. I told my dad, like, I wanna be an actor.
Oh, wow.
I wanna
So
be
look
in
at that.
movies. I want to be in movies, and it's hard to do that. You gotta get a job, and do
Mhm.
kind of that traditional stuff. But no, I've always wanted to be in a movie and work in that industry. So kind of putting all my energy into that right now.
Episode number 99.
And today we have with us a martial artist and social media influencer who is a 7 times world karate champion and has over 300,000 followers across all platforms. His name is Ty Provong. How's it going,
Yes.
man?
Good. How are you guys? I'm excited to be here.
Doing good, man. Excited to have you on.
No, awesome. I know you have so much information a lot of people are looking forward to see and
Mhm.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess let's go ahead and dive right in, man. Go ahead and give us your background into the whole martial arts scene. Like, how did you get into the scene?
All right. So growing up, I've always loved watching superhero movies,
Hmm.
just like every other kid, like Spider-Man, all the Ninja Turtles, all those movies. I really wanted to do them, and so my sensei actually came to my school, my elementary school,
Oh,
and he was teaching karate at recess.
oh,
So
wow.
I signed up for those classes, and I loved them. And then I ended up doing them at his actual dojo. And ever since then, I never went back. Like I never left it, and I just kept going.
Oh, wow.
Fell in love.
So you feel like it was just an instant connection then. It wasn't like something that you had to grow into. Like you just felt so inclined to it.
Yeah, yeah. Because I always loved the action movies. I
Mm.
really just my biggest motivation was I want to do that. I want to do
Mm.
exactly what they're doing on the TV shows and all those.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so how long have you been doing it for? How
I've
long
been
have you
doing
been?
it for about 11 years, going on 12
11
years
years.
now.
So how
Yeah.
old were you when you first started?
I was 8 years old.
8 years
Hey.
old. Wow.
8 years
And
old.
and what was your first martial arts that you got into? 'Cause
Karate.
karate. Okay. And have you what other ones have you practiced since then?
Honestly, I've only been doing karate for the most part. I did a little bit of taekwondo training, just
Mm.
like a few things with that, but other than that, it's been all karate for me.
So do you feel like you just want to stay around the karate scene, or have you ever like felt like branching out and testing something
Well,
else out?
yeah, I definitely want to branch out. I've been thinking about it this year. I definitely want to get into some kung fu
Oh, okay.
and maybe a little bit of judo. A little bit
Mm,
of that.
judo. Yeah,
Nice.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and I guess how with karate specifically, maybe other like martial arts that parents like to get their kids into, how did you find yourself staying so consistent with it up until your current age of 19? Like, did you ever experience burnout?
Yeah, okay, that's really
Yeah, all the time, all the time. I've definitely had those points in my life where I just like, damn, I don't really want to do this anymore. And
wow.
I just have that lack of motivation. But it was always to me about just showing up. And
Mhm.
once I got there, and I was fine. And I did the class, and right after the class, I felt amazing about myself. So
Awesome.
it was always just always showing up, and
Mm.
that was probably the most important thing that happened. My parents always pushed me to go all the time, and yeah, I thank them for that. Always pushing me through it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was about to ask right now too. Like, if you had any external accountability, would you say like your family was definitely those people for you?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. My parents drive me to karate classes every day.
Nice.
I,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have. I don't know what else I'd be doing if it wasn't for that.
Nice.
Something I wonder, like I know every martial art has its specific, tendencies. Like, could you explain karate like overall and whatever you see it as to like the people that don't even know what karate is?
Mhm. So a lot of people kind of assume that karate's like a slow kind of martial art, but it's karate. You use all different techniques, and you're really putting your body through all these different movements. You're using both your hands for striking, for punches and all that, and you're also using kicks for kicking. There's some grappling into it in the more traditional side. Um, you can do a lot of weapons. So I do the bow staff. I
Yeah.
specialize in that a lot. And yeah, there's a lot more to karate than people think.
Mm,
is.
Mm-hmm.
right. And with karate, have you ever experienced any like serious injuries, or like what do the typical injuries look like?
Honestly, no, I haven't had any major
Wow.
injuries. All it is, it's like I've gotten some blisters on my hands from my bow staff, some
Uh-huh.
blisters on my feet from back then. We didn't train on mats. It was just all hardwood floor.
Oh,
I used to get some blisters on
yeah.
my feet, but
Mm,
they built up, and I got used to it. So
wow.
yeah, but nothing major, honestly, that's ever
Mm.
happened to me. So yeah, it's pretty
Okay.
safe.
Oh, well, that's honestly a blessing,
Mhm.
and I hope that's really good. People need to see that. I guess would you say like you paid attention to your body? Like, say if you were like leaning a little too much into getting close to that injury, would you like kind of turn it back a little bit?
Yeah, you definitely you definitely pay attention to your body. You push yourself to the limits, but you don't like overwork yourself. You definitely listen to your body of
Mm-hmm.
what it's telling you. So yeah, I'd say it's definitely a really safe martial art and sport to
Oh,
get
okay.
into.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
How has karate affected your overall life? Like what philosophies or what kind of
Hmm.
characteristics do you bring from that into your daily life?
Yeah.
Say the number one thing is confidence.
Confidence.
Oh, okay.
Confidence. I was a really shy kid. And I was like hiding behind my mom, and I didn't want to talk to anyone.
Uh-huh.
I started karate, and I over the years I just been gaining confidence,
Mm,
and I
Mhm.
kind of just shaped myself into who I am today.
mm,
So
that's awesome.
I don't see myself like I don't know where I'd be without it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Have you ever impacted like any of your friends? Have you ever brought anyone into this sport with you?
Um, I did start with a couple of friends when we were all young because
Mhm,
we all went to the same school, but no one really kind of went through with it. I was kind
mm,
of the only one that did.
Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, I've gained a lot of karate friends and martial arts friends over the years of
Mm,
doing it, for
Oh
sure.
yeah. I think
Traveling.
it's really good. You get that camaraderie of people.
Yeah.
Like speaking about that training regimen, like how often do you train and how do you structure your training?
All right. So back then, without when I wasn't in school and it
Hmm.
wasn't as busy with school, I would train at least like five to six times a week.
whoa.
5 to 6 times a week.
Yeah.
Dang.
The trainings wouldn't be too long. It'd be about like an hour to an hour and a half.
Mm.
And I'd have like some stuff in between. Sometimes I'd take a lot of private lessons when I was young.
Mm,
I
Oh.
had some extra training with that. Now it's more of when I could find the time to,
Hmm.
but I also have those set trainings that I have at the dojo. So I'm doing like conditioning on Thursdays and like more of the katas and forms trainings on the weekends. You
mm,
kind of and yeah,
mm.
trying
Nice.
to trying to balance that school and like karate
Yeah.
training.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's pretty hard right now.
that's awesome right there. And I guess what can you describe the specific karate that you do, the bow staff? When did this come into your life?
The bow staff. So the bow staff came in probably a year into my martial arts journey. So I was about orange stripe, like red belt. So that's
Mm,
Hmm.
kind of like the midway point,
mm,
Oh,
getting
okay.
your black belt.
Hmm.
So
right.
yeah, I started the bow staff. I was still pretty young. I was about like nine or 10 when I started the
Mm,
bow staff. And yeah, I didn't really get into any other weapons. I kind of just stuck with the bow staff,
hmm.
trying to master that.
And could you explain like the process behind mastering the bow staff? Like what kind of technique goes into it? What are the rules? What's all that?
So it's all like I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
I practiced a lot,
Yeah.
Mm,
and it's hard to get into at first. You have this big long stick and you're trying to move it around all different types of ways. So it's
mm,
Hmm.
kind of just finding how you can move that bow staff around and how you can get comfortable with it.
right.
So just playing around with the bow staff a lot really helped me and just getting used to the feel of things and
Mm-hmm.
just a lot of training with it as well.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
And entering like the competition scene, like how do they grade you on these things? Like what are they looking for?
So they're looking for your techniques. So if you have like a strong foundation with your stances, if you're strong, if you're showing some good intensity, and sometimes the difficulty of your routine always plays account into that as well. And what else? If you're showing like speed compared to the others.
Okay. Well, I know many are curious on how, speaking about getting judged on, tournament type thing. Like I know you went to nationals tournament. How does that whole process work? By which I mean like how do you even get there?
Yeah, so I'm in this organization called the WKC. So it's the World Karate Commission. Actually, we're in it right now.
Oh,
There we
yeah, he's
go.
repping them.
Yeah, repping. So with my dojo, it's actually quite convenient because the president of this organization is actually my coach.
Oh,
In
wow.
that way, but he manages like all of the tournaments, the local tournaments and stuff to kind of get into that. So we have a provincials, so that's everyone in Ontario, then the nationals, everyone in Canada, and the world championships, which is actually in a couple of weeks. It's
Oh,
at the end of
really?
October. Yeah. So in the end of October. And for the provincials, it's the top 8 make it.
Mhm.
And nationals, it's top 4. This year is top 6. But usually it's top 4, and then top 4 make it in each category, each event, and then you represent your country at the Worlds.
Wow.
Whoa,
That's pretty insane. Do you know around like
Yeah,
how many
that is pretty
people,
insane.
yeah, do you know around how many people like attend the competitions?
There wasn't as many this year just because of
the
COVID and all
restriction.
that. Yeah, and the restrictions and all that. But there's a lot.
There's a
There
lot.
is quite a bit. Yeah, there's a couple hundred that attend the nationals, I'd say.
So you're training right now for the world championship.
Yeah. Yeah.
So leading into that world championship, like what is your mindset? Like, do you specifically try to change your training around, maybe focus it on a certain thing? Are you working on new like techniques, new moves to perform, or how's your mindset leading up to that?
Yeah, so right now I'm just trying to get everything kind of perfected down to the T right now. Trying to keep my same routines, trying to change up anything too much. Just trying to perfect my routines and try and see how it would play out at the World Championships.
Awesome.
Make everything perfect right now. So,
Yeah. And how does for you building up to a championship like this, how like do you still feel nervous? Like what kind of emotions go into this?
yeah, there's definitely some nerves that lead into it a couple weeks before, but not as much anymore. I've been doing it, for a long time now. I've been attending multiple world championships, so it's kind of all the same routine for me, but the nerves are still there. So
Nice.
yeah.
No, that's awesome right there.
And obviously, we were speaking about the national tournament. And could you describe that feeling you felt going to that national tournament and coming out with 7 gold medals in karate? Like that's, obviously a really good accolade that many would aspire to.
Yeah, so this last competition was probably one of my highlights, one of my best competitions of my karate career. It's actually my first year in the men's division.
Oh, okay.
So I came up, I was the youngest in the division.
Wow.
And just winning just felt amazing. Like all the hard work paid off. I haven't competed in like over a year and a half, at least now, just because of COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing. So getting into that first competition back in person just felt amazing. I had a blast.
So
And,
how many people are, I guess, you're going against?
So how many people are going? So there's different age groups,
Okay.
but there's kids that are like starting at like 8. There's people that are in their 40s and 50s that are going. And there's four people at least per event. And there's a lot of events. I'd say for Canada, there's got to be at least a couple hundred going. Yeah.
Nice. And how do the belt rankings work in karate? Like, could you explain the rankings and then what it takes to rank up?
Mhm. So at my school, we have a belt system where there's a solid belt and then you get a stripe in between.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you got your first belt, your white belt, then your next grading, you would grade every other month. Next grading, you get your white stripe, you learn a form, then you get to your yellow stripe, you learn a form. Every belt, you learn a different form. To get to your black belt. When you're testing for your black belt, go through this process. You have to do every single kata that you know. So there's those pre-tests, and then there's an endurance pre-test where it's a 3-hour workout. It's a 3-hour testing
Oh, wow.
for that one. And then the last test is the technical test. So basically testing on all your knowledge of the martial art of karate. And then and then you get your black belt at the end. There's a big show. You get to perform.
Nice.
That's an extreme accomplishment.
Yeah. And how long have you had or are you a black belt right now?
Yeah, I am. I have my 3rd-degree black belt now. So I got my black belt when I was 10, I believe.
Oh wow.
10. Oh, okay.
Yes, when I was
So
10.
I'm wondering, is there a difference between like junior belts? Does it like lead on into adult
Yep.
belts, or do you start like adult and then you have to go again?
Yeah, so when I was 10, when I got my black belt, it was a junior black belt. I had like a little stripe in between. You can't get your full black belt until you're 16 at my dojo. So yeah, I have my full black belt now, 3rd degree. I'm actually testing for my 4th degree this year as
Oh,
well.
Wow.
let's go. Let's go.
That's awesome. Right.
Another big testing this year.
Yeah.
And yeah, at the same time, got to train for world championships too. So there's
Mhm.
a lot of karate training that's been happening recently.
Man, there's a lot going on right there.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot going on right now.
Yeah. And how do they test you? Like how long is it? What kind of routines do you have to do in order for you to rank up again?
So, are you for like my testing or testing for the black belt?
Yeah, testing for your next
4th
degree black belt.
Oh,
Yeah.
for my next degree. So since I'm testing for my next degree, I have to know every single form from white belt. So there's at least like over 40 different katas that I
Wow.
gotta know.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one big testing. It's in a couple of weeks where I do every single form that I know.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And so what is a kata? If you could explain that for the people.
A kata is a sequence of different techniques in karate. So it'd be like your punches and your kicks, and it kind of demonstrates a story or tells like a fight scene of what you're doing, and you're demonstrating
Okay.
the kind of techniques that you're doing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and I also have a question for you about you entering the social media scene. What made you want to start sharing what you're already doing?
So the whole social media scene, it actually happened by accident.
Oh.
So the whole thing happened by accident. It's almost been a year. It's almost been a year now.
Wow.
And I just made this video for fun. I saw someone make a tutorial on how to do like a gainer flip. And then I went out on my driveway. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make this video. I'm gonna duet this guy.
Oh, awesome.
Follow all the steps. I already knew how to do the gainer, so it's just kind of like a funny video. And yeah, it blew up in like a couple weeks or so. It didn't blow up right away. I was like, oh, this is stupid. Maybe I should delete it.
Oh, wow.
And then yeah, if I deleted that video, then I don't know where I'd be right now. It kind of just took off.
Has it changed, like the amount of attention that you're getting? Has it changed the work ethic that you put into karate at all, or how has it affected like your routine?
Yeah, so it's definitely a little bit more difficult because I gotta find time to film videos and train at the same time. So I try and do a system where when I'm training, I just have my camera set up. If I want to film something, then I just do it while I train. So kind of ties in between each other there.
Right.
Okay, well that's awesome. And I'm wondering, like, do you feel like this whole social media, school, and like karate, like, would you want to, I guess, start to focus all on social media, or like, you say your school. So what are you majoring in school, and like, do you feel like this is your true passion?
So I'm majoring in a biopharmaceutical science degree
Mm,
right now.
okay.
That's my undergrad degree right now. I definitely see myself doing bigger things,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
more getting into acting in the film industry and
Mm-hmm.
stunts and all that.
Yeah.
Um, School is kind of just like a backup for me right now. I want to have that education behind myself,
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but trying to balance everything right now, it's pretty hard. Just trying to get through it, trying to work at different things at once.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I definitely see myself with a career in kind of in the film industry. That's definitely where I wanna be.
Mm-hmm. And I guess what steps have you been taking towards making that dream a reality? Because I know you put your
Mm-hmm.
aspirations out there on social media.
Yeah.
You've made it pretty big. You're getting the
Yeah.
attention now.
Mhm.
I guess
So
what steps in your mind do you feel like you're taking towards that?
so about a week ago, a talent agency actually reached out to me,
Ooh.
Mm.
talent agency out in LA. So I've been talking with my talent manager right now, and we've been sorting through some steps into getting into this into the industry.
Nice.
Yeah, just kind of working away little by little at that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the number one thing that's been happening recently so far for
Wow.
me.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's slowly getting there. That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's slowly getting there for sure.
Those steps, it's just those small
Mhm.
steps, they start to add up. And you see, I mean, obviously the work speaks for itself,
Mhm.
everything speaks for itself, and it all reaps. But one thing I noticed, one of your major goals is to be a leading star in one of these Marvel movies. What inspired
Uh,
you to have such an aspiration, and what type of hero can you see yourself as?
Um, so like most kids, like
Hmm.
most Asian kids right now, seeing Shang-Chi, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's a really
seeing him,
good one.
he definitely gave me that little extra step into really taking that step forward and going for my dream. Because growing up, I never had that. I never had a role model, an Asian role model that
Hmm.
was a superhero that I could look up to and do that. So kind of seeing him follow his dreams and do that. I mean, anyone can do it.
Yeah,
Mm.
no, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, that's
100%.
awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like too, it's crazy too, because I remember seeing a tweet of him saying, Marvel, y'all need to have your first Asian American, and then he ended up being that. And
Yeah.
it's crazy how the world works and everything is a full circle. So,
It is.
obviously, like you say, he inspires many. Obviously,
Yeah,
he's inspiring you, and there's just so much that can come from that.
yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Yeah, and I
Absolutely.
also love how you're the kind of person that's just putting this stuff out there as well. Like you're not scared to put your goals out there and your aspirations out there because I believe there's like you said, there's that confidence involved in there. You know what? If I keep doing this, I
Yeah,
need to make sure I make this happen. So I mean, we can see that for you as well, man. We're gonna go ahead and put it out there. So
yeah, man,
It's
definitely.
gonna happen. It's gonna happen for sure.
yeah, man, you got our support, man. We like what you've been doing and like the amount of traction that you're getting on social media, man. It's awesome. And
Yeah.
I guess that leads me on to my next question as well. Like, what kind of criticism have you been receiving, like from both ends, both positive and negative? Like, how does your audience look?
Honestly, the only things I've been seeing are it's like about like it's all positive right now.
Oh
Mm,
wow,
I,
that's impressive.
everyone gets those hate comments. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
I get a few hate comments, but never let that get to me. You
nice.
know, they're definitely in a rough state right
Mm,
now, so you can't really do much. But yeah, all the positivity I've been getting lately, it's been amazing.
yeah.
I get a lot of DMs. I try and respond to all of them,
Mhm.
and
Hmm.
everyone. But yeah, I'm loving all the support right now, and it's definitely
Yeah. No, it's definitely a blessing, especially, the amount of support that's coming in very quickly. Do you ever feel like it was kind of a little overwhelming? Did you kind of get a little anxious? And if so, like, how do you deal with this?
So yeah, from you saying that, like my Instagram only started taking off like about like a week and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
So I was probably at like 5,000 and then my Marvel video kind of just took off.
Blew up.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I went from 5,000. Now I'm at 60,000 right now.
Yeah.
And just it was pretty overwhelming that whole week. He's like, oh, now what? I gotta keep putting out more content. I gotta keep
Mhm.
this momentum going. I
Yeah.
can't let the momentum stop.
Yep.
And yeah, but it's all good. It's all for the better. I mean,
Yeah, something that I wonder too is, especially nowadays, so many people have this opportunity to blow up on social media. And, obviously our parents or even our siblings older than us, they see this and they're like, this is not possible. You can't do this. So what do your parents think about this? Like, what does your family think about what's been going on with your social media?
they're pretty supportive about it. They are, but like all parents, they want their kid to have an education behind them.
Yeah, right.
It's always like, you better finish school first. School always comes first, which
Mm-hmm.
I understand from their viewpoint. But yeah, I have their support for the social media and everything else. So it's all I could really ask for.
That is a blessing.
Yeah, no, it seriously is. And I guess, do you have any like differing opinions from like what society expects from your family versus what you actually want to do? Because where do your passions truly lie? And do you see, I guess, your education as sort of a safety net rather than something you actually want to aim for?
Yeah, 100%. So my passion is definitely martial arts and
Mm-hmm.
content creating and kind of collaborating with others, working with others and all that. Yeah, school is basically it, just the safety net, kind of the backup of in case all else fails. But I don't have that mindset where I'm just gonna stop and what I'm doing. I'm just gonna keep going on with it, and hopefully it'll lead to some bright paths.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and
Yeah.
I believe it definitely will for you as well, man. Because what you're doing, like the way that you're staying consistent with it too, like you really haven't stopped. And
It's the
I
consistency.
want to ask you about your
Yeah.
time management, man. Like, how do you find the time to just, okay, I need to upload here, I need to make sure I'm consistent here, I need to answer people here,
Mhm.
still focus on your training, of course, and school. Like, what kind of mindset goes into
Yeah.
your time management?
Mhm.
Yeah, so time management is definitely pretty hard for me. I mean, I have school in the mornings, and I actually have some classes that are at like later on during the day. So like even like 6 p.m. to like
Oh,
7
really?
p.m.
Wow.
in kind of classes like that. So I do school throughout the day. I have a little break. I try and get a workout in between. When it comes to content creating, it's
Mhm.
all kind of like after everything's done. So I'd be filming videos at like 10 p.m. And I
Mhm.
try and film and kind of like I try and film a bunch at once. So I can try and batch film so that I can make more videos throughout the week. I kind of just have that footage by me so I could just edit whenever I want. But yeah, I never have the time to just be able to film every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely difficult to find that time to
Would you
uh,
consider that your biggest challenge?
yeah, for sure. Kind of focusing on what I truly want to do.
Mhm.
Definitely, I feel like school's kind of holding me back from that.
Mhm.
But I still got to do it,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
it's just what I got to do right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Keep
Do
going.
you, yeah, and do you feel like let's say that you'll ever get burnt out from being this productive, or how do you just keep yourself, just active and on top of all this stuff? Or like, do
Mhm.
you see yourself doing this long term?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. 100%. Like it's been almost a year. Haven't really got burnt out from it.
Mhm.
Um, I love doing what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's what
love
it
I
should be.
love making videos. Ever since I was young, I always loved making videos.
Mm.
So just doing this right now is just something. It's just a passion of mine.
Mhm.
So I kind of see myself doing this for quite some time.
No,
Nice.
that's so amazing. I know so many see that in you by the way you post and how you put yourself out there. I know that inspires many.
Oh yeah.
Speaking about that, obviously there's a younger audience out there, even older people, if anything.
Mhm.
If you could turn back time and talk to your younger self, what would you tell them?
Talk to my younger self.
What would you tell them?
Uh, I just say honestly, just keep a healthy mindset
Mm-hmm.
and always show up to those practices and those trainings, no matter how tired you are, just keep pushing through it, and
Yes, sir.
all the hard work will pay off in the end,
Mm.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
I love
It's
that.
definitely really easy to lack motivation and kind of find yourself in that state where like you don't really want to do anything, but if you have those big goals, just go for it. No one
Mhm.
else is gonna do them except for you.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And also with all of the traction that you're getting on social media, do you feel like there will come a time where you'll be able to monetize any of that, or have you started to monetize your accounts?
Um, so in Canada, we don't actually have the creator funds yet for TikTok. So
Oh,
right
really?
now, yeah, all I've been doing
Nice.
is brand deals right now.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, so brand deals, they pay pretty good,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to get some more on Instagram
Mhm.
slowly. And
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah,
right now
yeah.
it's just brand deals right now.
Yeah, definitely. I think those reels are definitely popping off, and I guess
Yeah.
that's where you get the traction slowly but surely. It's all just going to come together. I really do see that.
Yeah.
And something for people just starting to dip their toes into the martial arts scene. What are some top resources that you would recommend for them to study on?
Um, one of a very useful creators, Karate by Jesse on
Mhm.
YouTube. He makes a lot of good karate videos and kind of explains everything, the kind of traditional side of karate. So he's a really good person to look up. Um, yeah, honestly, just the karate that I do is sport karate. So if you just search up any like sport karate fighting and like
Mhm.
point fighting, that's what's going on right now.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, there's
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
No,
good.
that's good.
Something I want to touch up on that you said earlier as well, because I feel like this is probably a position that other people are in. With you mentioned that you feel like school is kind of holding you back. You're still doing it, right? You're still managing your time and everything, but you really do feel like it's holding you back from just focusing on and going 100% into what you love to do. Um,
Hmm.
if there were a way for you to maybe like show your family, show society that you can make like a maybe a better living doing something that you love doing through the stuff that you're doing, would you ditch that completely, or would you still find a way to say no? I still prefer having that backup.
Yeah, definitely like when it gets to the point where I'm already ahead in my true passions and what I want to do, and
Mhm.
there's definitely some big things that are coming up. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's gonna be hard to kind of ditch that whole um post-secondary education,
Mhm.
Mhm.
all that, but it'll I feel like it'll definitely be a struggle at first, especially on my family, because I come from a family where they really push
Mhm.
that university and make
Oh
sure
yeah.
you just go to school, get a good job and all
Mhm.
that. But I kind of want to steer into something different from that. I don't
Mhm.
really see myself working that typical
Mhm.
9 to 5 at a desk, so
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, no, and that's
uh,
completely understandable too. Like, I'm not
Mhm.
sure if that causes any conflict between you and your family, but in today's day and age, we're living in a completely different time.
Completely
So we need to
different.
like understand where they're coming from, because they see it as like this is the number one thing above all things. Like, this has to be
Mhm.
your focus.
Mhm.
But then we're living in a times where we're at an age of access, we're at an age of information and technology and information, and we can learn anything and monetize that. So for our
yeah,
perspective, we're like, wait a second, I know people that are making this thing work and they're getting very successful off of it.
Mhm.
Family, they have that older mindset where it's like, well, you know education is still number one. And with those two perspectives clashing, I know it can be an issue with many families right now, but a part of us does need to understand that that's their mindset. That's not their fault for thinking that way.
yeah, yeah,
No,
Yeah.
for
I
sure.
agree with that.
Yeah.
I think it's all just kind of security and
Yeah.
just making sure you kind of have that.
Hmm.
But mhm.
Yeah, exactly. And how's it feel, by the way, knowing that you're impacting other people out there? Like, this isn't you just sharing your journey and getting a few likes in return on social media. This is you sharing your journey and actually inspiring other
Yeah.
people to
Oh.
pursue martial arts. Like, how does that feel? Like, have you accepted that? Do you realize that that's what you're doing?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I always loved just like helping other people. In high school, I did some leadership stuff,
Mm,
and I always just loved, like working with other people and helping others and
Yeah.
inspiring others. That's just kind of the personality that I have. So now doing this on a bigger scale is really amazing. It's really
Yeah.
amazing to me. And
Yeah,
it's
and I love that. That's what your focus is
Yeah.
to do it through social media. Because
That's
some
what it is.
people, like, yeah, they can go out in person and try and share as many things as they can, but like I said, in today's day and age, you can reach millions of people with just a few seconds of a video, and that's all it took for you to inspire their life. So what you're doing really is awesome, man.
Yeah.
thank you.
No, seriously, because I do
Yeah.
feel like some people are out there lacking, like you say, that confidence. Maybe they
Mhm.
don't feel secure in their body,
Mhm.
and I think it's important that, someone like you, obviously, you're still starting out. Obviously, you're still young, but you have experienced so much and what karate has taught you overall, like living. And you can speak on this, be like, hey, you don't have to feel this certain way. You can try to branch out, try something new. And that is what I really do think will affect so many.
Mhm.
And that's exactly how it kind of goes. I mean, I get a lot of DMs of these kids are like, can I still start karate? I'm like 14 and I'm overweight and all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, man, like you can for sure, 100%. And you can really do anything that you put your mind to. And I'm trying to get through all those DMs and yeah, just asking me for advice on different styles of martial arts, even stuff like that. Just trying to answer as many people as possible. So I truly do like doing this. Comes with like helping others and yeah.
And I guess what's also something that you feel that you're not really putting much of yourself out there at. I guess what I'm trying to say is like, um, what is something that you wish people more like that knew more about you, like in what regards?
Um, so a lot of people definitely do know me as a kind of like karate guy,
Yeah.
and I just do like flips and martial arts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to put myself out there, kind of like my personality and who I truly am. I definitely have other hobbies too as well that I haven't really put out on my Instagram yet. I did a little bit on my TikTok, but I love to skate and I love snowboarding.
Oh, really?
I have other hobbies. I like music.
Mm-hmm.
I played a lot of piano back in the day, but yeah, I definitely have a lot of other things that
Mm-hmm.
I can do aside from karate.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I was literally about to
Oh,
ask
see,
about that because that's the
that's
main
good.
thing that's
That's
out
important.
there.
Yeah.
That's what people know you
Yeah.
for. And I wanted to know, like, okay, well, what else is going on,
Yeah.
behind the scenes?
No, that's
Mhm.
what I say too. I see, we can tell obviously the type of person you are just from this conversation, but obviously from the glamour of social media, we just see the karate side of things. And that's why I say, it's important to start to speak about these certain things that you say,
Yeah.
because it not only just shows one side of you, but it shows the 360 human of who you are.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely have other things about me that are just aside from karate. Like I said, just other things that I just kind of enjoy doing aside from it.
Oh, something I wondered as well with your YouTube channel. So are you planning on wanting to, maybe you could do that with YouTube, make it more like of a
Yeah, that's definitely
vlog-esque
what
style?
I was thinking. Yeah,
Ah,
I
okay.
definitely want to start to get into daily vlogging.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
YouTube scene has been pretty hard for me to find the time to
yeah.
kind of go throughout my day and actually have to film all day
Mm-hmm.
for stuff like that. But definitely got to find the time for that. I definitely want to show my other interests on YouTube as well. Kind of show others like what else I can do. What else I have to
Mm-hmm.
offer.
Yeah, no, that's good that you're planning on doing that. And I guess
Mhm.
other than that, like what else do you want to just go ahead and put out there for the audience, for anyone listening? What other goals? What are your plans? What are things that you want to start doing or things that you want to start pushing more on?
Number one thing that I'm definitely getting into right now is the TV and film industry right now.
Yeah.
That it's always been a dream of mine since I was in grade 3. Told my dad like I want to be an actor. I want
Oh,
to
wow. So
be
look at
in
that.
movies. I want to be in movies, and like it's hard to do that. You gotta just get a job, and do kind of that traditional stuff. But no, I've always wanted to be in a movie and work in that industry. So right now, kind of putting all my energy into that right now.
That's
Yeah,
awesome, man. Yeah, don't ever give up on that, man. And you haven't already. So like
Yeah.
that's awesome. From such a
absolutely
young
not.
age, you are showing with your action that this is what you truly want.
Hmm.
Because some people have dreams and they're letting them go, man. They're letting them die, whether if it's society or family, and they get shut down. But you're sticking strong to that you can make this happen. So
Yes.
that's awesome.
And I've definitely had that happen where I've I had a point where I just wasn't even kind of doing karate anymore.
Oh.
I was just working, I was just teaching. In
Mm.
high school, you're kind of drawn to these activities.
Oh no.
You guys are frozen. Oh,
I think it
Yeah.
froze a little.
yeah,
No,
I
you're
froze a
good.
little bit.
You got
Yeah,
it.
as I was saying, and in high school, I really found myself doing all these other sports that kind of everyone else was doing. I
Mhm.
didn't really focus on what I truly wanted. So
Mm.
as soon as I got out of high school, and I was like, what do I really want to do? So I'm really glad that I found my path back on martial arts again. And yeah, so
That's
great.
awesome.
I think that's extremely important, especially in high school. Something about the high school mentality that a lot of people have is, I want to do what everyone else does. Like, I don't want to be the one left out. I don't want to be that
Mhm.
outlier. But I guess these outliers are, these individuals that do amazing things. These
Yeah.
outliers are their own person. They're
Yeah.
individuals. They don't want to be
Mhm.
like everyone. And I think that's awesome that you continuously do that. Also, something with the YouTube, I'm pretty sure if you were to put the shorts on YouTube, those will blow up.
Yeah, that too.
Those
Yeah,
will blow up.
definitely thinking of doing that, getting into shorts for
Mhm.
sure. Just I didn't know I don't really have an idea what shorts really is. So
Mm.
Yeah, it's
definitely gotta get into shorts.
yeah, the shorts, it's really I see a lot of people just get their TikToks or Reels,
Yeah.
whatever, put it on there. Basically the same
Uh,
thing. Obviously, it just adds.
It's like free advertisement for
Yeah.
your YouTube channel,
Yeah, that's what I was
basically.
basically saying. So you can get that, how you were saying you were
Yeah.
struggling a little bit. I know if those were to do well, everyone's just gonna subscribe, and that's where you can start to slowly drift into whatever else you want to do, obviously.
Mhm.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and I guess I kind of want to take it back to when you mentioned the high school scene. Did you feel like you truly embraced like your authenticity after high school, or when did you truly start to like, what, this is who I am, and
Mhm.
I'm done trying to hide it.
It was definitely after high school for sure.
Mm.
I just found myself doing like everything that everyone else did. I didn't really want to be different, you know.
Mm.
Yeah.
You don't really want to be different in high school, but you gotta understand that it's okay to be different. It's
Yeah, it is.
completely okay to be different. So I kind of understood that after high school,
Mhm.
and dove into my true passions of martial arts and what I really want to do. Found my dream again,
Yeah,
and I'm glad that I keep pursuing it. I haven't
that's
lost that
awesome.
motivation.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
awesome.
so glad.
And have you looked into because your mindset, you have a very, very clear mindset. Is this something that's just natural to you, or like what kind of resources do you look at? Like, do you look at any like self-development, personal development books or people or any of that stuff?
Yeah, so I've kind of had that mindset all along, but it
Mhm.
definitely helps. I've read a little bit of The 12 Rules of Life by Jordan
Oh,
Peterson.
Mm.
okay. Yeah,
He's
that's a good one.
pretty good. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, Other than that, I watch a lot of Joe Rogan podcasts.
Yeah. Joe
Nice.
I
Rogan
watch a
knows.
lot of that, and listening to Jocko Willink's podcast with
Mm.
him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jocko Willink
yeah,
is
Jocko.
is truly a really powerful man,
Mhm.
and I do follow his mind, try and follow his mindset.
Yeah, speaking of Joe Rogan and Jocko, I know those guys are very BBJ. Like, have you ever looked into BBJ?
I've I've
BJJ?
had an interest in it recently.
Yeah.
Haven't really got into it before, but it's definitely something I definitely do want to do in my future years for sure.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you would consider yourself more, like obviously like a striker instead of more like a
yeah,
grappling
yeah,
side
like
of
a
things.
striker and like standing
Mm-hmm.
up on my feet and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah, because BJJ is definitely the complete opposite. It's all
yeah,
grappling, it's
it's
all
It
complete
is.
grappling.
opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you see like how do you view different martial arts? Like I mean, you may be biased, but like what like do you have your favorites? Like do you have some that you look at you're like, yeah, I don't think that's really that good or
Yeah, I definitely accept all martial arts except for, those kind of like best ones that people just make up
No, just
yeah.
on the internet and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, kind of those ones, but all like the traditional ones, like like karate, kung fu, taekwondo, all the mainstream, like judo, jiu-jitsu, all of that stuff.
Mhm.
I'm accepting of all of them. I'd love to dive into all of them as much as I can.
Yeah,
Find
no,
the
that's
time.
awesome.
Yeah.
Plus, I bet like there's like an appreciation for all these martial arts in the first
Yeah.
place because they all stem from a certain art form, from a certain skill that takes years for people to perfect. So,
Consistency, time
and
on
you under,
time.
I'm pretty sure you understand that more than most people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Following
Yeah.
karate,
Martial artists, yeah. As martial artists, we definitely do have appreciation for like all different types of martial arts that are out there for sure.
Mhm.
And I know that your karate is more like sport based, so you're more
Yeah.
focused on technique and form. But have you ever thought about getting in the ring with someone else?
Yeah, I actually like I used to do sparring back
Oh, okay.
when I was young. I did sparring for a while. I only stopped like a few years ago
Mm.
because I really just wanted to focus on like my performance and
Mhm.
routine. Because usually when you get older, you kind of steer towards, do you want to be a fighter or
Yeah.
do you want to do katas and stuff? I was always good at the katas. I was good at fighting, but I always had the love for katas and kind of performing and doing all those tricks and stuff. So I
Mm.
kind of just steered towards that.
Mm. Okay,
Oh,
nice.
awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
is it time to go ahead and wrap this thing
Yeah,
up?
I think
or-
that's pretty much it. We're just gonna hit you with the last 5 rapid fire questions to round it up.
All
yeah.
right.
All right. So these 5 questions have been inspired by Jay Shetty. Not sure if you're familiar with him, but these are going to be some good ones right here. So first question: what's the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
Best piece of advice. Definitely just don't give up. Keep going. Always show up.
Yep. Awesome.
Nice. Second question: what's the worst piece of advice that you've ever received?
Mm, I don't think I've received some bad advice that I remember.
Mm.
Honestly,
Okay.
yeah, I don't think I've received any bad advice other than yeah. I don't really keep that in mind.
Nothing comes to mind. All
Oh, that's
right.
Yeah,
good.
nothing comes to mind for that
Block
one.
that out. You don't
Yeah,
even
you
need
just
that.
blocked it
Yeah,
out for
yeah,
bad ones
it's kind
anyway.
of just like it's kind of
Throw
just
that
out of the
away,
blue
yeah.
there.
Yeah. All right. Third question. What's something that you know to be true, but that others might disagree with you on?
Karate or just martial arts in general is definitely way harder than other people think.
Mhm.
People see it and they're like, "Oh, I can do that." Once you start
Yeah.
getting into it, martial
Completely
arts
different.
is completely different than
Mm.
what you might seem and what you might imagine.
Awesome.
Nice. Fourth question. What's something you wish you knew earlier?
Something I wish I knew earlier. Something I wish I knew earlier. Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Take your time. Take your time.
Just that I have the potential to do whatever I have my mind put onto. Like whatever I want in life, I have that mindset to do it.
That's a good one.
Hell yeah.
I like that.
Love that one.
Fifth and final question that we have for you. If you could create one law that everyone in the world had to follow, what would that law be?
One law.
One
Yeah.
law.
Just, hmm.
Like, would you want anyone to adopt a certain kind of mindset?
One law is just world peace, but that's something
World
that we can never really agree on. But
Yeah.
it's all that I really want.
Just want everyone to be peaceful.
No,
Yeah.
that's a really good one. I think that's really good.
Mhm.
Nice, man. Well, that about wraps it up for us.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, it was
Thanks
awesome
for having
talking
me.
to you.
Yeah, I know it was good meeting you. We appreciate this conversation because I know so many are just gonna get inspired, so
Yeah.
many get motivated,
Yeah.
even maybe
Absolutely.
introduce people to karate. And
Yeah.
that's even amazing.
Exactly. Yeah. So what are your what socials can these people go to? Where can they find you?
So Instagram and TikTok is at TPrav. So it's TEEPRAV.
Mhm.
YouTube is just my name, Ty Provong.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think that's about it.
Awesome.
For my
Awesome. Man.
socials.
Well, there we go. We're gonna have that linked in the description for you anyway, so we'll have all that information down there. People are gonna go find you. Hopefully, you'll be receiving some DMs, people that are having questions for you. So yeah.
Ready to answer those DMs. Any messages that you guys have for me, you just shoot me a DM on Insta.
Awesome, man. It was great talking to you, man.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
great. Awesome.
Yes, you have a good day, man.